In tonight's headlines, the outbreak of African swine fever at a licensed pig farm in Yunlong has led to the culling of an unknown number of animals. Government releases a list of schools which did not participate in a voluntary on-campus vaccination program for students to get their flu jabs. And the mercury dips to 11.5 degrees Celsius in urban areas, marking the coldest day in Hong Kong so far this year.
African swine fever virus has been detected at a licensed pig farm in Yunlong, resulting in the culling of all pigs on the site. This came after the Agriculture, Fisheries and Conservation Department confirmed last night that out of 11 pig samples taken from the farm, at least 3 tested positive for the virus. In addition, 3 other farms within a 3-kilometer radius of the affected site have been temporarily prohibited from transporting pigs, pending inspection by the authorities. Talking to iCable News, Fisheries and Agriculture sector lawmaker Stephen Ho suggested that the increase of wild boars in recent years may be a contributing factor to the spread of the virus. Due to their strong destructive capabilities, wild boars can breach farm barriers and transmit the virus. Or their feces could carry the virus onto farms if not properly managed, he explained. Officials have stated that while African swine fever virus is deadly to pigs, it is not a zoonotic disease and does not pose a risk to human health or food safety, reassuring that there is no need for concern. The government urged schools to arrange on-campus influenza vaccination services as soon as possible to protect the children in the city, following the release of a list of 168 schools that refused to participate in the jab drive, including several traditional elite institutions. Taking to the airwaves, Health Secretary Lo Chong-mao stated that the list did not aim at damaging schools' reputations, but was about protecting children's health. If parents are informed about the situation, they can get their children jabbed elsewhere. Some kindergartens had expressed that they did not take part in the program because the parents do not have time to accompany their kids. In response, Lo said he believes there are always more solutions than obstacles. For example, nasal spray vaccinations can serve as an alternative to ease vaccination discomfort, so parents need not be present during the process. Additionally, the health chief noted that during last year's flu season, 35 children were hospitalized, with 6 losing their lives. A 4-year-old boy who did not have access to vaccination services at school contracted the flu combined with serious complications and was transferred to the intensive care unit on Wednesday. He is still in serious condition. Education and healthcare workers do not have conflicting goals. Our aim should be to protect students, Lo emphasized. Separately, the health minister revealed plans to introduce more preventive dental services this year. In addition to the existing primary school dental care program, the next phase will cover preschool children and secondary school students, offering checkups and cleanings at reasonable fees. As for the community dental support program for low-income elderly individuals, it is expected to be implemented by next year at the latest. Jeremy Zhu, Cable News.
A wave of flu is hitting the city, with the number of patients flocking to hospital emergencies jumping from around 4,000 to over 5,000, and even exceeding 6,000 on some days over the past 2 weeks. According to Tony Ko, Chief Executive of Hospital Authority. Speaking to iCable News program Let's Talk, Ko anticipated that the number will rise further during the Lunar New Year, with a peak in the following 2 weeks. The hospital authority has called on staff to avoid taking leave during this period and scheduled more manpower to work, particularly in emergency departments and internal medicine services. The authority chief also noted that general outpatient clinics may not extend the services during evening due to limited manpower. emphasizing the need to allocate resources to the most important department. Meanwhile, the occupancy rate of the inpatient beds in hospitals with emergency services has exceeded 100%. Ko reviewed that the number of patients admitted to internal medicine has surged from over 900 to more than 1,000. We are actually under huge pressure, but we are confident to address the challenges, he said, pointing out that they have a monitor team to coordinate bed usage. When asked about the authorities' exploration of using drones to deliver medications or documents, Ko said they will make reference to overseas experiences, but have yet to finalize which hospitals will pilot the program. Evelyn Bai, Cable News. The cold weather warning and frost warning are enforced, as the Hong Kong Observatory logged a record low temperature of 11.5 degrees Celsius in the urban area since winter began. The mercury at Tai Mau Shan, the city's highest mountain, dipped to a chilly 4.6 degrees around midnight. A few university students hiked up to the mountain to catch the sunrise. It's freezing and we put on more layers, they said. I did bundle up. It's getting warmer as I walk up to the mountain. But it will be cold on the way down, said this woman. Despite the biting cold, this man braved the cold water for his morning swim. I didn't feel really cold and my body got used to it. I have once swum in 3-degree water, he said. At Ping Che in the North District, where frost could usually be seen under very cold weather, no frost was found on the vegetable fields under the frost warning early this morning. A local villager said this winter feels colder than those in previous years, but there were no strong winds because the mountains show the wind from the outside. The weather watchdog said that the city is under the influence of an intense winter monsoon, bringing cold temperatures along the South China coastal areas throughout the weekend. The temperature is expected to slightly rise early next week. Evelyn Bai, Cable News. Customs officers busted 2 drug trafficking cases yesterday, seizing suspected ketamine and cannabis buzz worth around $9 million in total and arresting 2 men. One case is at the airport, where the customs found about 12 kilograms of suspected ketamine hidden in a check-in suitcase of a 29-year-old man. The suspect tried to enter the city from Prague via Dubai, according to the customs. The suspected ketamine, with an estimated market value of about $5.7 million, was disguised as the icing salt, which is rare in Hong Kong. The arrested has been charged with 1 count of trafficking in a dangerous drug and will be brought up at the West Kowloon Magistrates Court next Monday. Meanwhile, in Tsuen Wan, customs officers intercepted a man finding 5 kilograms of suspected cannabis buzz from a recycle bag carried by him, and subsequently seized another 7 kilograms of drug concealed in a batch of LED light panels in an industrial building unit. The 12 kilograms of cannabis buzz in total are worth nearly $3.2 million. The investigation is still ongoing.
Helicopter crews are flying dangerous missions trying to contain one of the massive fires in the Pacific Palisades suburb of California, which has burned through more than 21,000 acres so far. At least 11 people have died and an estimated 10,000 homes and other structures have been destroyed. There are at least 6 fires currently burning in different parts of the Los Angeles area. Strong winds and dry weather are raising fears that the blazes could spread further, and a red flag warning indicating critical fire conditions is in place.
I'm the Public Information Director for the Los Angeles Police Department.
The Los Angeles Police Department has imposed a curfew in the city from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. and issued mandatory evacuation orders, which have affected more than 160,000 residents. The fires and strong winds have severely degraded air quality, posing immediate and long-term risks to public health. Making the declaration, county health officials have asked people to stay indoors and use air conditioners to recirculate and filter the air. Those stepping outside are advised to wear a mask. California's Governor Gavin Newsom has called for an independent investigation into how critical fire hydrants ran out of water and impaired the fight against the wildfires. US President Joe Biden described Los Angeles as a war scene while warning the death toll is likely to increase. Sachin Katwe, Cable News. President-elect Donald Trump has been granted an unconditional discharge in his hush money payment case, which will make him the first US president with a felony conviction when he takes office on January 20th. Attending the sentencing in New York virtually from his home in Florida, Trump said the charge was a political witch hunt and was done to damage his reputation for him to lose in November's presidential election. Last year, Trump was found guilty by a New York jury of 34 felony counts of falsifying business records to pay adult movie star Stormy Daniels $130,000 to cover up an alleged sexual encounter. Trump had pleaded not guilty to the charges and repeatedly claimed the case was politically motivated.